Catboy. Come on up
right.
here.
Come
We
on,
had a blast tonight.
You know,
By the way, just before you start, Catboy, I gotta tell you, this just came over. This talk now there's driverless cars because of this German guy that's now talking about driverless planes. How many of us are getting on a plane that there's no?
No. No way.
Go ahead, Catboy.
Actually, I got one of my roommate's diaries here, and I'm looking up myself, and it says, "I'm nosy and I'm judgmental." That son of a bitch. Oh, that's not so good. No, anyway, I've got some sad news for everyone. Sad news followed by good news. The sad news is just this week, an announcement: I have closed my last main store in Second Life. I was there.
Really?
I was at Voodoo. Yep. I had a store in Voodoo. I was there for 5 years. That's the longest I've ever owned any piece of property anywhere in Second Life. And I just closed it down. It was run by a really nice lady. And I've opened up a brand new store. And if you want to guess what I'm wearing is a hint.
Sailor Moon?
What
No,
I'm wearing is
at
a hint.
the Roxy Rose, or whatever her name is.
No. What I'm actually wearing the clothes of where I'm renting. It's run by June Dion. Does anyone know who that is?
No, we don't know who that is.
It's Bear Rose. Bear Rose.
That's what I said. What do you think? I said that. I said Bear Rose.
Everybody-
What the fuck are you talking about? I guessed it right. What the hell is wrong with you? Let me see. Let me get that slow children sign out.
It's I shop for my boxers. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have thought.
My boxers.
Now, I'm a little worried because I actually tried to get in there about many times when I opened up a store years ago, and they said, sorry, you can't come in, we have standards. And now, apparently, those standards have gone down.
Way down.
I'm a little worried. This sign saying it's shutting down because High Fidelity just announced it's gone alpha. You know?
Oh, is that right?
Yes. High Fidelity
Hey,
is just
I bought-
opened.
Really?
What?
I bought something of CatBoy's 5 years ago before I even knew CatBoy. Right off, remember I bought a camera.
That's right.
I had no idea till I wore it. He says,
Yep,
"Oh,
I
that's
have
mine."
Yep.
Yeah, he made some
um,
nice stuff.
Second Life today announced that if you become a premium member, you can get the first month for $5.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, High Fidelity just opened. Is Fran here, by the way? Is Dr. Fran around?
No.
She knows a bit more
She
about it
was.
than I do.
I'm in
was.
there. I'm in High Fidelity.
Well, I just heard High Fidelity just had its first marriage. Was just today, despite the fact it just opened. They've already had their first marriage, or the first marriage of Alpha. The people who were controlling the avatars were stealing Wi-Fi. They had their laptops right underneath a cell phone tower. The ceremony wasn't so good, but the reception was great. I know.
Didn't we
I
just
think I
hear a
heard that
reception joke?
We just, Why not? Just told that joke. But
Why not?
Well, you know, it was pay-per-view.
I know that's the problem when you go last. You have to knock off a couple of jokes, especially when Doc Grun goes up first. It's like, oh damn, they heard that one. I saved one. It was the big, huge power outage in Washington D.C. today. The downtown core was completely out of power for most of the day, leaving Capitol Hill without electricity. The nation found out about it when people noticed that Congress was causing less damage than usual. Now they have a lot of requests. Could you just leave the lights off? just leave them in the dark. Anyway, spring has finally arrived. Very, very late for most of us. We're getting some wind. Now, I want to show you something. You know that this is the time of year that we get like lots of storms, thunderstorms. Is it down south they get tornadoes and whatnot? And I saw this really weird story. I don't have a picture, but there is a video. You can click on it if you want to, but you don't have to. And it shows this airport. Very, very strange, freaky windstorm had come up, and it picked up a bunch of people's airplanes, and it just carried them away, and then you never see them again. It just, boom, they're gone. They just picks them up. Hunt, God only knows where these poor planes wound up. But I'm thinking,
Oz.
Can you imagine trying to explain that to somebody? It's like, yeah, I used to own an airplane. Really? What happened to it? It flew away. that's so funny. Seriously, what happened to it? No, it flew away. Can you imagine explaining that to an insurance agent? So you're saying that it just basically flew away on its own? Well, that's what you
What do you
get
think if
walking-
it crashes?
That's what you get for walking up indoors then, huh? You gotta tie that thing down like it's a dog. Anyway, Rand Paul has announced his candidacy for president. He says he thinks he stands a good chance of being more successful than his father. Because he thinks he's going to be more successful than his father because his name is
He'll get 2 votes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It said the thing he's got going for him is that his name is just different enough that he won't be confused with a famous crossdresser, but not quite different enough that we can't make jokes out of it. Okay, Rolling Stone. Remember what happened with Rolling Stone? They had that story about the rape accusation, which turned out to be completely false. The fraternity, which proved to be false, they admitted the story was completely devoid of any fact-checking, but Rolling Stone said that they will not be firing anyone as a result, because apparently screwing up like this is the only way that the Rolling Stone can garner the national attention.
That's funny.
Yeah.
For giant screw-ups, because when was the last time we ever heard Rolling Stone doing anything, They should go work for Fox News if they're done in the fact
Next week they're
checking.
doing a major article on NBA players that beat their wives.
Wow, cutting edge.
Now I got some one-liners here. Now remember last week I said that it seems like every week there's a national holiday for this, a national holiday for that. Apparently today is a national holiday I can get behind. Today is National Beer Day.
Yay!
Oh,
Yay.
Okay.
Today
All right.
is Beer Day. Yeah, and on a Tuesday, that means you can show up fucked up for work the rest of the week, right? Just get sloshed.
I think
But,
not.
yeah, no.
Do not think that that's
National
going to work.
Beer Day. Okay.
But I got some beer jokes for you. What is a man's idea of a balanced diet? Beer in each hand. One over here. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you got 2 of them. Now, how is a casino like a woman? Liquor in the front and poker in the rear. That's a really old one. Oh my God, this one's about Amy Winehouse. This might not. What's the difference between Amy Winehouse and Captain Morgan?
I don't know. Yeah.
Captain Morgan comes alive when you add Coke. Okay, the rest of them are not much nicer.
That's
than
like a
that.
5-year-old joke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guy
I
like-
think it's
Okay, what did the bartenders say? A lot of these are older than 5 years. I'll have you know, like this one right here. What did the bartenders say after Charles Dickens ordered a martini? Olive or twist?
Twist.
Olive or
twist.
How many
Cute.
more you got? I've only got so many more.
You'll run out of O's before I run out of jokes.
I don't know. I got a lot of O's.
Okay, why did God invent Jameson whiskey?
Yeah. Sorry,
so
a little early for the punchline. Go on.
So the Irish could never rule the world.
Oh.
You know what's fun about being sober? Well, nothing. I'm going to skip through that one. Man walks into I don't even like that. So, a man walks into a bar with a slab of asphalt under his arm, and he orders a beer, please, and one for the road.
Oh.
All right. Why did the Mexicans create tequila? So ugly people would have a chance to have sex.
Yay!
Okay, here's something that make fun of NASCAR. Was it what has 8 arms and an IQ of 60? 4 guys drinking Bud Light and watching NASCAR. Speaking of Bud Light, what do you find if you bought a bottle of Bud Light? What would you find printed on the bottom of a Bud Light bottle? You know what's there?
Descend up.
it says open the other end.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
What's the difference between finding a G-spot and a bottle of Jack Daniels? A guy will actually search for a bottle of Jack Daniels. If anyone, you drink Corona, does anyone know why does Corona go through your system so fast? It doesn't have to stop to change color. How do you start a parade in a ghetto? Just roll a 40 down the street. What's the difference? Here's another one. We're making fun of
Testosterone.
making fun of NASCAR again. What's the difference between a sofa and a man watching NASCAR? Sofa doesn't keep asking for a Bud Light. Oh, here's my favorite Bud Light joke. What is the similarity between Bud Light and having sex on a rowboat?
Wow.
They are both so close to water. Fun. Now we're going to make fun of Canadian beer for a change. What do you call a man with a pint of Labatt's Blue on his head? What do you call him? You call him a taxi. Clearly he's drunk. He's had too much to drink and he needs to know. Okay, now what do blondes... Oh, God, we had to have one blonde joke in here. At least one. What do blondes and a bottle of Corona have in common? They're both empty from the neck up.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
I know. Well, we had to have
right.
one.
Shit.
Yay!
Yeah, we're going to go and grab a beer as soon as we're done with this last one. Okay. I kind of like this one. I don't know if you're going to like it. I kind of like it. What does a shot of Everclear have in common with a beautiful woman who has big boobs? Both make them start... What does a shot of Everclear? Everclear is really high proof. I think it's like 30%, 40 maybe. What does that have in common with a beautiful woman who has very big boobs? Both of them make men start talking nonsense. And that's all for tonight, everybody.
Yay! All right. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.